What is going on, everybody? It's the Frost, and we're here for Bash at the Beach Part 2 on the Rock and Rager at Sea Part Dukes Second Wave, Chris Jericho's Cruise. I'm just going to say this right now. Love this setting. And of course, they're going to be doing this next year as well. I absolutely love this entire thing. I hope Jericho... I can't say I hope. I know we're going to be doing this again next year. Apparently, it's going to be live. This, of course, was taped on Tuesday. And the results were out, so everyone knew what was going on. But this was a fun show. I love this setting. This was absolutely, I think, one of the best looking episodes of TNT of anything. Bash at the Beach last week, Bash at the Beach Part 2 this week on the Rock and Rager at Sea. Of course, Bash at the Beach will still technically continue next week on AEW Dark, as it was taped from Bash at the Beach last week. This show had a tag team title match, a world title number one contenders match, and MJF and Cody Rhodes having a little bit of word for words, and somehow, someway, MJF ending up in a pool. Now, the show started off with SCU versus Kenny Omega and Hangman Page for the World Tag Team Championships, and of course, AEW just had to spoil this themselves, as apparently in a video, Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford came up and to the Elite before the tag team title match, and I guess issued a challenge. I didn't actually listen to it. I saw him and Ford come up to them and issue a challenge, and they came out and said, breaking news, on I think probably one of the last days of the Jericho Cruise, it's going to be Kenny Omega and Riho versus Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford in a mixed tag match. And unfortunately, they decided to tweet out, and I don't know who this PR guy is. I don't know if it's the same person who a couple weeks ago when Dark didn't air live because of daylight savings time. If this is the same person who was putting out pre-prepared tweets to go out when Dark was supposed to be going on, so it looked like he was watching the show. If this is the same person, they need to be fired because this is their second screw up, as they tweeted out the new and Riho and new AEW Tag Team Champion Kenny Omega. So yes, Kenny Omega and Hangman Page are your Tag Team Champions, beating SCU in a fantastic match. Basically, the antithesis of this match and just this match is Kenny Omega. They're having a hell of a match. The match comes down to Kenny Omega getting beat down a little bit. He tags in Hangman. Hangman is going up and beating down both members of SCU. Cesarian is the legal man. He throws Scorpio Sky out onto the ramp because they were using a ramp. Hits the buckshot lariat to him on the ramp. Comes back in, hits another buckshot lariat. 1, 2, 3. And they are your tag team champions. The Bucks come out. They celebrate with these two. Well, they try to celebrate these two. Paige is like, go celebrate with Kenny Omega. So the Bucks go and do. He bails from the ring and goes celebrate with the fans. Basically, what they're doing right here is that they're setting up the Young Bucks versus Omega and Hangman Page, with Hangman Page eventually turning on Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks to, in my opinion, probably join the Dark Order and lead the Dark Order or do something. I don't know what they're going to do after he does. Him turning is an inevitable. The question is for Hangman Page, what do they do after he turns on Kenny Omega? Good match. Overall, absolutely fun time. Because then we move over to Priscilla Kelly and Britt Baker. This was Priscilla Kelly's singles debut. She was in the All Elite Wrestling Casino Battle Royal at AEW's All Out to determine a number one contender for the first ever AEW Women's Champion. She was here. I believe she is married to Darby Allin, so it would not surprise me if she has a contract coming soon. Now, Priscilla Kelly was in the Mae Young Classic, I believe, the second one. She's also known for the garbage wrestling, as she was the one to take a tampon out of her crotch and stuff it down a man's throat. So that's her big claim to fame. Short match here. Baker wins with the mandible claw lockjaw on Kelly. But it's not the match that really matters, it's after. Tony Schiavone comes in the ring to talk with her. Schiavone says the ending of the match was questionable. It was a good win nonetheless. Baker takes the mic and says he doesn't need him to judge her. He's a good guy. She says, Tony, you're a star. Before you worked here, you worked at you were working at Starbucks. Before you came to AEW, you were just a shitty barista. Tony literally mouths, what the fuck? Crowd is booing, telling the crowd she's a role model, and she's like, "You do know I'm a dentist, right?" She's the best looking woman on the boat. Keeps talking trash. Keeps talking. Keeps talking. And Jim Ross is like, "We've heard enough. We'll be right back in it on here on the Jericho Cruise." So even they couldn't deal with her anymore. Obviously, this is turning Britt Baker heel. She has not given a anymore, and good on her. It's time for her to change her character. To show what happened between Jungle Boy and AEW champion Chris Jericho the last time they were in a match together, as it was a time limit draw, 10 minutes. Jungle Boy made the 10 minutes, and that lead us to tonight, last night with Jurassic Express versus Chris Jericho and Pride and Power for Santana and Ortiz. Crowd is, oh, this was awesome because Jericho's coming out and he uses Judas. And thank you, Jericho crowd, from the crowd afterwards. But while the music's playing, the crowd is singing Judas. As soon as the music stops, they continue for a couple more seconds singing the Judas theme. Jericho's listening, gets a smile on his face, like this is freaking awesome. So that was just one of the best moments of the show, was people just singing the Jericho's theme for Judas. Even they acknowledged it on commentary. Another fun match here. Of course, I believe we know where Jake Hager's first match is going to be coming. I thought, and I'm sure a lot of people thought, it would be Dustin Rhodes, as he was the one to snap Dustin Rhodes' arm, but that doesn't seem to be the case, as it looks like, because Luchasaurus ends up brawling to the back with Jake Hager, which leaves Stunt and Jungle Boy on their own. Stunt and gets tagged in, starts swinging away on Hager all the way to the back. Stunt with a 450 splash on the top rope, pins Jericho for a 2. He tries a couple more roll-ups, but then out of nowhere, Judas effect, quick Judas effect, didn't see it coming. 1, 2, 3, boom. Santana, Ortiz, and Jericho win. A lot of people probably were thinking, would Moxley come out and interfere in this match? Fuck over Jericho, leave it down to Pride and Powerful versus the rest of Jurassic Express? No, of course not. He has a #1 contenders match later in the night. We get a recap of the feud between Cody and MJF when we move on to MJF versus Joey Janela, another short match here. Of course, Joey Janela took on Rey Fenix. I have not watched that match. It was going on, I believe. They put it on YouTube, and I have yet to watch that. I'll check that out at a different time, but it did say in his title card that he beat Rey Fenix. Hopefully it was a good match. It looks like it's about a 12-minute match. It's probably including entrances, so I'm saying about maybe 7 to 8 minutes of a match, which should be good. But Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford start making out on the stage to distract him for a moment. Janela tries for an elbow, nobody home. Double cross for victory for MJF. 1, 2, 3. After the match, MJF tells the crowd they love him, don't you? And they definitely love Cody. This last week, Cody was pretty much a poet with his words. Brings up Cody saying MJF was just another chapter in his book, but MJF's like, yeah, you know what? For once in his life, he was right, but I'm the last goddamn chapter. Cody comes out, strolls down to the ring, playing up to the crowd as he does. Cody comes to the ring with MJF's like, hold it right there, cowboy. Tells him not to come any closer, reminds him that he can't touch him or all bets are off. He then makes fun of Cody's lifts as Cody gets in the ring. That's something, like, that is just awesome heel work. Here's the thing. The Young Bucks are over because of what they do in the ring. How they do their dives, how they do their, like, big moves and everything. Lucha Bros, big moves. That's how they are over. MJF is over being as old school can be. This guy is absolutely phenomenal at what he does. This guy is a national treasure. He is, if MJF was this guy, if he was in the 80s, he would have death threats coming his way, week in and week out. This dude is absolutely phenomenal at what he does, and anybody who thinks otherwise, I don't know what to tell you. This guy is fantastic. So he pretty much says, oh, well, since you are my mentor, you know what? I know you have things you want to say, so I'm going to give you the mic and let you say what you need to say. Goes to hand the mic and drops it. Like, you know, that's on me. Pick it up. Cody goes to pick it up, kicks it away. Cody goes to grab it. MJF walks out. And Cody just says, MJF was right. I can't touch you. And just as this is going on, you see Matt and Nick Jackson sneaking up behind him. And Cody's like, yeah, I can't touch you. But they can. Turns around. Double super kick. He is down. Cody's like, hey, should we throw him in the pool? So they grab him. They throw him into the pool. Awesome right there. Something that needs to happen every single time. Apparently, Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez were on the show, in the crowd for the show, and they didn't show it on TV. But apparently, he tried to get back up and ended up arguing with a fan or something. Ended up slipping back in, so it was a little bit more comedy that we didn't get to see on TV. Tony is talking with Omega and Hangman Page about winning the titles. Omega says they did something special today and couldn't be happier. Page with the drink and says, when I said I was going to whip their asses, I'm going to whip their asses. As he's trying to talk, Tony Schiavone keeps taking the mic away from him and going back to Kenny Omega. You can honestly see that this is like getting on Hangman Page's nerves. Omega says in time he will give Pac his match, but titles are his priority. Page seems slightly bothered. Young Bucks roll in and celebrate with both Omega and gives Page accolades too. Page says that he's surprised they won the titles before the Young Bucks did, and he heads off. Young Bucks seem a bit annoyed. Omega tries to smooth it over a bit. As I've said before, this is going to lead to Hangman Page versus Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega versus the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team titles, and that is going to be one hell of a title match. And then, of course, that is probably going to be the night that Hangman Page turns on the Elite, and since there's going to be 3 of them, I honestly see somebody else or something else going on that causes Hangman Page to join the Dark Order or join with MJF. Who knows? I don't have a clue yet, but I'm still calling for that to happen. What a hell of a thing going on though. Jericho joins commentary as we have Pac versus Jon Moxley for the #1 contendership for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Jon Moxley looking like a pirate with his high steel bandage. He was apparently selling this the entire time, which is absolutely fantastic. I don't want to see somebody taking this title, like getting this supposed injury the week before and then just acting like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm practically good. There's nothing wrong here. So great to see Moxley actually doing that. So these guys have a hell of a match here, and unlike last time they had a match, this one actually has a finish. They fight all over the place. They come back in, 450 splash, knees up, but Moxley covers 2. Pac with a release German suplex. Pac up at top again, looks for the Black Arrow, nobody home. Kick by Pac. Moxley with a DDT, cover but a 2. Pac rolls Moxley to the floor. Pac rolls to the floor. Moxley follows to get him back in the ring, heads to the rope. Pac gets up and then hits a superplex. Brutalizer is locked in. Referee checking on Moxley says no one. He says no and works his way to get his boot on the bottom corner. Pac rips the bandage off and throws a bunch of punches in damaged eye. Moxley up and gets inside the cradle too. Hits a double arm DDT, then picks him up for the Death Rider for the make sure it actually the assurance that he's going to win. 1, 2, 3. Jon Moxley is your winner. Now, Jericho did say on commentary that I'm going to finish what I started at Revolution. So it has been confirmed by Jericho most likely that this match will be happening at Revolution. We all should know that's going to happen at Revolution. But that match will be interesting. That match will be a lot of fun. This was something I want to see them do, not every week, but I'd love to see them do something like this. Like they did Dali's Place, of course, on the 1st of the year. They did the Cruise this week. Apparently next year, the Cruise, which is going to be February 1st to February 5th, is going to be live for TNT, which is probably going to be Bash at the Beach, is what they're going to call it again. Maybe Bash at the Beach is going to be a 2-part event every year around the Jericho Cruise. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens next week. They're coming to, I'm not going to be there, but they're coming to my home state in Cleveland, Ohio next week. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens next week as we head towards Revolution. And then I believe we still have another 2 weeks to go before we see what happens with, we have 3 weeks. We have a full month, a month from yesterday, or 4 weeks from yesterday, before we see the cage match between Wardlow and Cody Rhodes. And we still have well over a month before we get to Revolution. One match already pretty much confirmed. Another match, of course, MJF versus Cody. We'll see if they actually go down that road. So we're just getting there. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Follow me on Twitter at The France Club. Follow me on twitch.tv/The France Club. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for NXT. And we go over the Keith Lee, Roderick Strong North American Championship match. And I will know who, if my predictions were right or wrong when it comes to the Dusty Road Tag Team Classic Finals, which I believe is the Broserweights versus the Grizzled Young Vets. Makes all the sense in the world since they're going up against two teams are going to be facing off against each other in an 8-man tag team match later in that show. But that is all. I will see you guys tomorrow, Saturday or Friday for NXT, Saturday for SmackDown, Sunday for Unscripted. We're not doing Worlds Collide just because it doesn't feel like it's it seems like it's just it doesn't, like, it's NXT versus NXT UK. There's not going to be any lasting effects of this show, so I'm just going to scrub that. I'm going to watch it, but I'm going to scrub that. And of course, we have the Royal Rumble on Monday, Tuesday for Raw, and then Wednesday will be a break. But until then, my name is The France, and I'll see you guys later. Oh yeah, before I leave, thank you to each and every one of you new subscribers. I hope I see more of you here. I would love to get to 200 before